This is too much. This is too much. Okay, so listen. Let's get this together. Here we go. Hey! Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Knockouts. Tanya TKO here. And as you see, we are here with the live studio audience. And today we're going to be talking about this whole Monique and the bonnet bashing and how she was out here giving what she's calling tough auntie mother love. And I want to know whether or not you all were feeling it. Were you feeling what she was saying? So we have a live studio audience today who is going to be weighing in because there are opinions that are on either side who agree with what she was saying and people who also disagree. So I want to hear from you all as well. So if you agree, if you disagree, make sure that you get your comments ready. The apples are open. If you'd like to send an apple to be read on air, the link is in the description, and that's $Tanya TKO. We're going to jump to a quick commercial break, get this video queued up, and then we're going to jump right into it. Thank you all so very much. And studio audience, are you all ready?
All right. Ready.
All right.
Hi, guys.
All right, here we go. Are you tired of missing Tanya TKO's live videos? Late when the video is well underway or about to end? Are you fatigued of only seeing a live video randomly while perusing YouTube and Facebook? Or worse, randomly unsubscribed? Well, now you can get a text notification whenever I go live. No longer are we dependent on the algorithm of these fickle platforms. For just $1.99 a month US and Canada or $4.99 a month international, you get a personalized text message 15 minutes before each live show. Now, you can show up early with the Tech Squad, meet other people from all over the world, and get invited to secret broadcasts off-platform. Most importantly, support your favorite independent creator. Go to TanyaTKO.com and click on text. Join the TKO Tech Squad today for just $1.99 a month US and Canada or $22 a year if you pay in advance. $4.99 a month international, $50 a year if you pay in advance. You'll never again be tardy to the party. I'll see you on the next broadcast. TanyaTKO.com/text. All right, welcome back, everyone. And if you'd like to join the text notification squad, the link is in the description below. It's just $1.99 a month, and you get a text notification before we go live for each broadcast. That way you can always be part of the show. That's one. And then if anything happens on one of these platforms and you don't know how to reach me, listen, because Facebook is cutting people left and right. So if you don't know how to reach me, make sure you're on the text notification squad and you get invited to secret broadcasts, just like the cartoon or the commercial said. So if you're ready to hear what Monique had to say, listen. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Hey, my sweet babies. So, it took me a minute to say what I'm getting ready to say because I want to make sure I'm not saying it in judgment, and I want to make sure I'm saying it from a place of love. Y'all, some of y'all have given me the title of auntie, and I'm honored that y'all do that, right? But there are times where auntie got to talk to her babies and say some real shit. So yesterday, I was in the airport in Atlanta because I'm in Jackson, Mississippi now at Chuckles Comedy Club, right? And we got 3 shows tonight. We got a matinee at 5:30, then we got 7, then we got 10, right? And I'm excited. I always love going to the stage. So when we got to the airport yesterday, I was excited, like, all right, baby, let's go get him in Jackson, Mississippi. And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count and too many for me to tap, But I saw so many of our young sisters in head bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas, blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport. And I've been seeing it, not just at the airport, I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and their slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves? When did we step away of let me make sure I'm presentable when I leave my home? Let me make sure I'm representing the family I created so that if I'm out in the street, I look like I have pride in myself. And I'm not saying no full face of makeup. I'm not saying no full front lace frontal. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is, could you please comb your hair? And if you don't want to comb your hair, they got enough shit out here now, baby, where you can style yourself up and look like you have pride. I'm not saying you don't have pride, but the representation that you're showing, someone would have to ask you to know that you had it. So my sweet babies, for the ones that do call me auntie, I love you for real. Even the ones that don't, I love y'all asses too. But the babies that say auntie to me, please listen to auntie. Always have pride in your representation of you. It's not to get a man. It is just your representation of you, my sweet babies. So I'm just giving y'all a warning. If I see you in the streets, in the airport, in the Walmart, and you got a bonnet on and you got slippers on and you looking like what the fuck, Monique gonna tap you and say, hey, baby girl, show you what you worth. Show you what you deserve. So all of those posts that you see celebrities putting out there saying, hey, queen, hey, queen, hey, queen, well, can we start putting it into action? So I'm asking our wiser sisters, when we see our little babies out there looking like they just don't care, and I'm not saying y'all don't, it looks
Hold on, I'm sorry. So what she's asking us to do is if we see a person who look like what the F, who don't give an F enough to be able to go to the Walmart in their slippers and pajamas, that we're supposed to walk up to them, tap them on the shoulder, and be like, no, what? She cannot be serious. I'm sorry, but the type of person who is wearing pajamas out at the Walmart, you know what? I'm gonna reserve my comment because I don't want to influence anybody, because we do have the studio audience here, and I want them to be able to give an unbiased opinion. But I'm sorry, the type of person who's out there in furry slippers, unless they also have on a college Letterman sweatshirt or something, I ain't tapping no. And then if they do, what am I tapping them to say? You know what? Let me just finish up the clip. Let me finish the clip. Okay, come on.
Can we just tap them and say, baby girl, you deserve more than what you're showing. Represent you with pride, my babies.
I'm sorry. Let me rewind this because I feel like I'm missing out on some of what she's saying. Because she says she wants us to go tap people. So let's see what she wants us to tap them and say. Let's see.
Showing. Represent you with pride, my babies. And that may be a part of us helping our community. Because if you look like you don't give a damn, how you gonna be treated? So when I say, hey, queen, I can only say it to the sisters that it belongs to.
No, I feel like I didn't rewind enough. No. I feel like this. I need to get back to the tapping. Hold on. Because then we done went into respectability politics. Like if you wearing a suit, you're not going to be beat with a billy club. So how you going to be treated? Come on, there's a lot that's convoluted in this message. And I want you all to listen and hear.
I'm just giving y'all a warning. If I see you in the streets, in the airport, in the Walmart, and you got a bonnet on and you got slippers on and you looking like, what the fuck? Nikki gonna tap you and say, hey, baby girl, show you what you worth. Show you what you deserve.
You know what? I'm sorry. I feel like I need to tap her. Auntie, show yourself what you worth, because you on the internet in a house robe, my dear. Show yourself what you worth. You know what? Let me have respect and close my mouth. Go ahead, Auntie. Talk.
All of those posts that you see celebrities putting out there saying, hey, queen, hey, queen, hey, queen. Well, can we start putting it into action? So I'm asking our wiser sisters, when we see our little babies out there looking like they just don't care, and I'm not saying y'all don't, it looks like it. Can we just tap them and say, baby girl, you deserve more than what you're showing. Represent you with pride, my babies. And that may be a part of us helping our community. Because if you look like you don't give a damn, how you gonna be treated? So when I say, hey, queen, I can only say it to the sisters that it belongs to. Because a lot of us are still in
So
queen
now
training.
you giving out, you crowning people now? You? Oh, God have mercy. This was the same woman. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. Years ago, I tried to listen to a Monique. Remember when she hit that whole thing? I tried to listen to a Monique comedy thing. Like after she had that whole Netflix thing and everything, I was like, oh, because people were like, oh, Monique is not all of that. Oh, this. I tried to listen to a Monique comedy, and it was so riddled with curse words. I couldn't even get through it. She was talking about fat bitches this and skinny bitches that. And I'm like, is this the same woman now? All of a sudden she then got some gray roots and now she's talking. I just, you know what, let me mind my business. Let's come back to finish up her thing. And I'm going to get your comments. So studio audience, get ready, because I want to hear your feedback on this part alone. And then we're going to come back with part number 2. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. I don't know what is happening.
So if you're in queen training, stop being fearful of taking your position. And queens don't walk around with bonnets and headscarves and slippers and pajamas. That's for the house. When you go outside, represent you, baby, like you are worthy and you deserve the title of Hey Queen. Nikki love y'all for real. And I ain't never gonna BS you. Stop wearing them damn bonnets and headscarves looking like don't nobody give a damn about you, nor do you give a damn about yourself. Because you beautiful. So represent it. I love y'all for real, my babies. Hey, my sweet babies.
All right. So, all right. Listen, studio audience, get ready, because I'm gonna pull you all up, because I wanna hear your point of view on this, because I'm a little befuddled, honestly, because I'm like, I know it's not the messenger, I know it's the message, but then there's also a few problematic things in the message. So I want to hear people's opinion, because I know that there's... Hey, studio audience, welcome back in. All right, so I see that there are a few people who got their hand raised. Let's take you. Michelle, come forward and let's see what you have to say. Michelle, where you at?
I'm right here.
Let me make sure that I got everybody coming up that's supposed to be up. Let me...
Do you hear?
All right, Michelle, you have to take yourself off of mute. Uh-oh. Let's take the next person until she's ready. Joanna, come forward, please.
Hello,
Oh, we
Miss
got to
Tanya.
get the apples, too.
Hey, Tanya.
Oh, you know
Okay,
what? I
so
can't hear you for some reason. Hold on. I'm sorry. My bad. It's me. It's me. It's me. My bad. Go ahead.
okay. No, I do agree with what you said. I do not believe in going to people's personal space at all. So, but I do believe that you shouldn't wear them in public. It's like you should kind of look what you look like in public. Now, what you do around your house is your business. But that is somebody's own personal belief on what they want to do. But that's just my preference. I wouldn't wear it out. I don't wear my sleepers outside my house. That, again, that's my personal belief. But I'm not going to go on somebody else's territory and tell them how they should and should not dress when they walk out of their house. That's just going way beyond my spectrum of what I'm going to do. But
Yeah, that's a little concerning to me. I mean, what do you think
right.
would happen if you went up to a person and said, "Hey, listen, sis, you need to act like what you worth." What do you think would happen if you went up to someone in the Walmart that you see wearing pajamas and a bonnet? What do you think would
Well, I
happen?
think if you do that nowadays, I'm sure it'll be a fight. It
You
would be
think
a fight
who do you think
nowadays.
would win?
I don't know about all that. I mean, I don't know about that. I don't think I'm gonna go down easy.
So
But
you willing to fight a person over their slippers?
I'm not willing to fight nobody over anything on their personal being. That's why I'm not gonna tell nobody.
All right.
But
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't confront anybody about their personal clothing. Now, I personally wouldn't do it because I don't want anybody looking at me sideways. But nowadays, women just really don't care what they look like going out. The young ones really don't care how they look when they go outside. They just feel like they can go any kind of way and it's nobody's business. And technically, it's not anybody's business what they look like when they go out.
okay. Well, you know what? Thank you so much. We appreciate your point of view. All right. Then we have up next Michelle. Come forward, my dear.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Sorry about that. That must have been me because you know there's so many switches and controls here. Okay. So talk to us, Shelly. What you got?
I just disagree. Just some of the comments and some of the things. I love you first of all, but
Thank you.
the whole thing with like Monique, where people are referencing Precious, and that's years ago. That's the past. You know, all she is doing now is encouraging us just to do better, take pride in our look, and I don't see nothing wrong with that because even us joining, you know, this Zoom and being a studio audience, I was looking like, will people change this or do that? I mean, because it's representation of us as Black women. And I just feel like we should do better. We shouldn't be in the airport to me with bonnets on. You never know what can happen. I get you know, certain occasions or whatever. I just feel like we shouldn't. My grandmother, she partly raised me and she taught me you don't go outside with dirty underwear. You know, it's certain things that goes without saying. And I think people are they're not really listening to what she's saying. She's not saying to go tap somebody in Walmart. She did not say that. I didn't
Yes,
get that.
she did.
No, she said she was going to,
No,
would tap
she
them.
encouraged us to do that too. Are you doing it?
No, I didn't hear that.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't
You
go
know
tap
what?
nobody.
Listen,
No.
I could rewind that part for us if you need me to. You want me to bring that back up on the screen?
Yeah, bring it back up,
Because she
Tanya. I know you are.
said, and I rewound it. So were you listening backstage?
Yeah, and I listened to this earlier on my own. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So I want to hear that. I'm sorry. I feel like I cut you off. I want to hear the rest of your point of view. You feel that we as Black women need to
just do better, because even when we were going live on here as a studio audience, it's like we're talking about bonnets, and no disrespect to the women on here with bonnets or anything, you know, but I just felt like we're on here live. You have a following, and then I see people moving around in the kitchen, doing this, doing that. It's like we can't. To me, it's about respecting someone else's. It's just about respect, just to me. And then as far as going, not just with your platform, but just going out in public like that, you just never know what can happen. And
So
it's
let me
not
ask
like,
you a question. So you mentioned people moving around in their kitchens. What do you feel is disrespectful about that?
Well, I guess because to me, if you're coming on, put it like this, if they were at a job, I'm sure we all during the pandemic had to be on our Zooms before for different companies. We're not in the kitchen cooking and doing this. You know what I mean? We're not doing all this stuff that can be caused, can be viewed as a distraction. And I just feel like we will do corporate America a job like that, but we're not treating like you. To me, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay. So that means that you agree with her, except for the part about tapping people.
Yeah, I just feel like we do need to do better, because it's not like my cousin. I have sisters who go out, with a bonnet on once in a while, whatever. She literally, it was like a group of them. Like they all just, it takes one leader like to come out, and then the rest of them are following. It was like a whole pile of them. I just wouldn't be on no airplane with no bonnet and, the clothing that they had on, like pajamas and stuff. I don't know.
Well, you know what? Thank you so much for your point of view. Katrina, up next. Please come enlighten us. Katrina, you have to unmute yourself. You raised your hand, right?
Oh, yes. Well, me personally, I wear head wraps. So if anybody got a problem with what I wear on my head, then I don't know what to tell them, because people have their reasons on why they do certain things. We don't know if that person living off their car, living in a camp park, or, anything. So I just think people should just let well enough be. Because no matter how much we complain about somebody wearing pajamas or bonnets or whatever, scarves, that's not going to change. It's just going to make the situation worse. Because people going to be who people, they're going to be who they are, regardless of.
But do you think people wore bonnets? Do you think black women wore bonnets out in the 60s? You said people are going to be who they are, but were we like that in the 60s and the 50s?
I don't think so. I don't even think it was a such thing as that. Stocking caps, but no.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your point of view. We got Cheryl up next.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
My opinion, I was back in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, and I've seen.
You're a woman of many decades.
Yes, I'm 60 and older.
60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's 4 decades there.
No, not 50. But
you said 50s. 70s. Okay, all right. Go ahead then. Let's hear what you got to say.
My mother always told us to go out and dress appropriate, because you never know who you might meet. You might meet someone as a single lady that might be interested in you.
Can we get the camera angle up a little bit so we can see you? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So now we side by side. Thank you. Go ahead. Let's hear what you got to say.
My mother told me that when you're growing up, you present yourself in a way that you never know who you might meet. You might meet someone about a job. You might meet someone about a career. You might meet someone that might be interested in you as far as a relationship. So if you're going out here, like Monique said, looking like anything, they're going to approach you like anything. But if you go out in public and make yourself look presentable and look like a woman of status, they're going to say, there's something about her I like. So I see that, but I'm not going to touch anybody.
Oh, you're not going to tap anyone. Okay, I got you. Thank you so much. Next up, we got Tanya, and then we're going to jump over to the apples. Come on, Tanya. Let's hear what you have to say.
So I'm from the era of when you go outside, you represent your parents. I personally would not wear bonnets outside, and I wouldn't allow my daughter to do it. But I am not touching anybody, telling them what they should wear and what they shouldn't wear. I'm not doing it, because I'm not one to fight. But when you're touching somebody, telling them about what they have on, you got to be prepared to fight somebody, because some people ain't just going to let you just tell them what to do. And I'm just not going to judge nobody. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it at all. But that's just me. We weren't
I
even allowed
feel
to leave out the
you.
house unless we were washed and fully dressed. Like we couldn't go out in our pajamas and slippers and all that. My mom did not play that at all. But
I
to each his
feel you.
own. But
So you agree
I'm not
with
touching
Monique,
nobody.
but you're just not tapping anybody. All right. It
No,
looks like we
absolutely
have a
not.
bonnet coming up next. Nicole, let's see what you have to say now.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, everybody. Okay.
Okay.
I don't agree at all. I mean, people are human beings, and I go to
Can we get the
Walmart. I
camera
go to
on your face? Because we got lower half
okay,
here. Okay, perfect. There we
okay.
go.
I go to Walmart. I go to Target all the time, and I see people green, purple, short, tall, whatever, wearing God knows what, but nobody of these ethnicities are out here making videos, bringing each other down. You never know what a person is going through if they're having a bad day. If you take that moment to say, hey, you're looking like whatever, you don't know what kind of response you're going to get, whether it's a fight or hurting somebody's soul because maybe they got up the last bit of their ounce of energy to come out the door to do something. And here you are telling them, well, look, this ain't good enough. Do better.
Got you. All right. Well, thank you so much for that. Let's see, we're gonna take two more. So we have Latoya up next. Latoya, come forward and tell us how you feel.
Hello, all.
Hi.
I personally, how are you? I just believe that to think that you're going to come up to somebody and change their paradigm about
Latoya,
how they,
honey, I need you to turn your camera to the side, please. Long ways, long ways. And you have to have your auto rotate on. So
is this better?
you have to turn on your auto rotate. We're gonna come right back to you. Oh, you okay? You fixing it now?
I'm fixing it right now.
Okay. Can somebody behind the scenes help her? We're gonna take the next person. Lady Q, come forward.
Hello, guys. Hello. Listen, I think maybe I'm a little old school. I was taught that when you wake up in the morning, you get yourself together. Wash your face, brush your teeth. Not that you got to get all dressed up, but put on something decent because if an emergency or something happens and you have to leave out of the house, you just want to look decent and not have a bonnet on your head. That being said, I'm not judging anybody who do whatever it is that they feel like that they need to do. And like she said, there's so much going on in the world. What my question is, who started this? And why is it a trend? It's like the sagging of the pants. Like I don't understand who started it. Why is it a trend? Why did it hop off like it was something glorious to do? But again, I say, with everything that's going on in the world and us suffering with everything we suffer for, I'm not judging nobody on what they do. If you feel like the bonnet is what you want to go out on. That's what you want to go out in. But for me, I think I was just raised differently. And I'm gonna give y'all an example, and I'm gonna hop off of here. So my daughter, I'm the kind of person that I get up and do all my stuff, and I'll even if it's a little cute sweat outfit, whatever it is, I'm looking decent around the house because I don't know if I get a phone call or something, I may have to leave. I'm like, oh girl, my mom said keep the drawers clean because you don't know if you get out in that world, you get in an accident. They might have to do anything. And my daughter used to always ask me, Mom, why do you get up and then she used to say, why are you trying to look cute around the house? That's what she used to always ask me. And I said, well, baby, because first of all, for me, but secondly, because if we get a phone call or something and mommy have to go out, I need to look like a halfway decent. You know what I'm saying?
Got
And
you.
I said, I'm trying to show you the example. Where here she goes, 17. I'm in my house. I don't want to, I'm not going to do all that. I said, okay, baby, look, I'm just showing you what mama do. And that's the example that was set for me. And I'm trying to set an example for you.
Got
So
you.
here she
Got
go.
you.
She left out the house looking crazy one day. Not even the bonnet on her head. It just got it flipping and flapping everywhere. And a whole bunch of boys, little cute boys, then walk by. Here she go calling me, Mama, you was right. Because here's the truth. You never know who you're going to run up on in the streets, like Miss Cheryl said. It could be a producer looking for you. It could be
Mm.
somebody, could be anybody. You don't know what kind of opportunity is going to meet you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not judging because
I don't even really wear a bonnet around the house. I wear it to sleep. But you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I
It's
got you. I
okay to
got you.
do
Thank you
whatever you
so
want to do,
much.
but yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Lady
yeah.
Q, for your
Mhm.
opinion. Okay, so we
You're
got
welcome.
Latoya got her stuff fixed up. Come on back, Latoya. Let's hear your opinion.
All right, thank you. Me personally, I just believe if you really care about this topic and you're concerned about Black women, people have to grow into their own. There is nobody's job to come tap you and tell you anything about it. You're
No, I feel
asking
you.
for a
Can we get the
fight.
camera a little higher? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. There you go.
Yeah, you're asking for a fight if you're going to come by and try and tap somebody who doesn't think the way that you do about
Yeah.
that topic. The best thing that any of us can do is be an example. So if you and your queen don't want to wear the bonnet, then don't. But for those that do, if they think that it's appropriate, you have to allow people their space and their time to be who they are. I would definitely not advise anybody to jump in anybody's business unless you want some smoke.
Okay, so do you think it's appropriate to wear bonnets, slippers, and pajamas
Me, not at
outside?
all. The way that I was raised, no. My mother, that was just not that would have never been allowed. When
Mm-hmm.
we left the house, you know, fully washed, fully dressed. I mean, you weren't allowed to leave her house a certain way, but that's the way that I was taught. Everybody did wasn't raised by mom. You know what I mean? And they love their
Got
mom
you.
just like I love mine. It's not my job to impose what I think is a better way on somebody else. And when we get into that stance of that's a judgment, whether we like to call it that or not. And you can have it and keep it to yourself. But if you jump outside of yourself, you have to be prepared for the smoke coming back at you. That's all I'm saying. That's a very
But what
touchy
about
thing to do.
raising up the presentation of our race? Like, let's say you
I
want to go to
agree.
another person and be like, well, listen, you're representing Black women, raise this up. What about that?
So my thoughts and feeling on that is the best way to, if you're going to introduce that in, would be through relationships with people. See, people
Mm,
don't mind necessarily if I'm in a relationship or a friendship with you, and I say, "Hey, girlfriend," as a friend, based off of something, based off of a relationship. Now we can talk. But you can't just come at me and I don't know who you are
mm.
and give me advice. There needs to be some form of camaraderie, some form of care shown, because anything outside of that is going to come off as a judgment. People are going to get defensive, and their defenses are going to be raised. So what I try and do, if I think that I know something a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
it's got to be teaching is best done through relationship. I believe
Oh, very
personally.
interesting point of view. Thank you so much for that. All right, next up we have Nettie. Nettie, come forward.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, everybody.
Hi. So
I
which era are you from?
hey, I'm a '60s baby. I was born
Oh,
in
okay.
'50,
So where
so I'm
so when you were
65.
young, did you see Black women back in the days wearing bonnets out? Okay.
No,
Okay.
when I was growing up, we couldn't even wear pants to school. We had to wear dresses, even when it was snowing outside. When I was a younger girl,
Mm,
um, we were always taught to represent. You represent your family. You represent your organization. You represent yourself.
okay.
And we were taught when you're out, you must always carry yourself as a lady. I don't agree with the bonnet. I'm not going up to the children of this generation to say you need to dress better, because they have so much disrespect now for anybody of any authority that
Mm.
you're subject to get in a fight.
Oh, wow.
I'm not fighting. But I will tell people, sometimes, you have to do better in order to get better. I at least tell it to my nieces and nephews. You can't go out in these streets looking any kind of way. As they said, you never know who you may run into. There may be an opportunity knocking that you're
Okay.
unaware
What if
of.
you're not looking for any opportunities? What if you good? You got the money you need. You're not looking for opportunities.
But don't you want to carry yourself better? Don't you
I
want to
mean, they're apparently
represent
they okay
yourself
with the way
better?
they're carrying themselves. They going on the airplane. Maybe they going to
Well,
sleep. So they already got their
well,
pajamas and stuff
you're right.
on.
You're right, but that does not look very nice outside. That just
To
does not.
who?
It looks as if you don't care about yourself.
All
To
right. Well,
them,
you know
to the
what?
people, to the public.
I feel you. Thank you so much for your point of view. All right. So listen, you know what? I am still personally, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still on the fence. I still need some more convincing. So we're going to go over to the apples and I'm going to read some of your points of views over there because I want to see what you all have to say in terms of all right. So Fabiola sends 111 and says it's that bonnet again. Okay. All right, Fabiola. You're funny. It's that bonnet again. All right. And let's see. And then we have Angelica that sends $2 and says, and listen, right after this, we're going to be playing Monique's second video. And then we're going to listen to the studio audience again. So studio audience, get ready to raise your hand after you hear Monique's next video because people were criticizing her and coming out and saying that that she need to mind her business and all this and the other. After we read the apples, I'm going to give you all my point of view because I haven't really spoken about how I feel about it because I think that this is a multi-layered issue. So let's jump back into the apples. And for those of you who don't know, the apples are the cash apps. The link is in the description. So Angelica sends $2 and says, is this the latest fad bonnets? Well, there is a fad going on now. People are out here being comfortable, doing what they feel is right for them. So yes, the latest fad is bonnets at the airport. Well, you know what? When I was in college, I remember people used to go to class. With pajamas on. And for me personally, I used to feel like, and even now when I'm at home, I get dressed in the morning when it's time for me to, start doing my work and all of that. So and also because I don't want my pajamas sitting around on chairs and all that other stuff. So I take off my night clothes because when I go to sleep, I like for my pajamas to only have touched my sheets and stuff like that. That's just me personally. However, we're going to get into my point of view after the apples because I feel very strongly about this. All right. Chigozie sends $10 and says, I will not be tapping. They have nothing to lose. This is too much. You won't be tapping. They have nothing to lose. Listen, I feel you. All right, let's go forward. All right. So, because that's one of my questions too, is the type of person who's wearing a bonnet in public, is that person also the type of person that you want to be tapping on the shoulder to tell them what you think about how they look? So Kelly sends 333 and says, who cares? Teach about Black Wall Street. That is interesting. I want to bring up, that's a good point. I feel so strongly about this topic. Unica sends $2 and says, everyone should dress in a way to command respect. But then I guess the question is a bonnet disrespectful to a person? Is there something about the bonnet that shows a lack of respect? And does a person deserve to be treated a certain way when they have the bonnet on? So Angelica sends $1 and says, Auntie need makeup and outfit. I don't know who we're talking about, but we all have our own points of views. I don't know if you're talking about Monique or whomever. So I don't know what we're talking about right there. All right. And then we have Chigozie sends in another $10 and says, I love Monique. She the best. I feel you. I feel you. I feel that this conversation is very rich coming from Monique of all people, and I'm going to tell you why. Molly sends $2 and says, "Love the show." Thank you, Molly. We appreciate that. Thank you. And LaShawn sends $5 and says, "Walmart, Wanda is gonna kick Monique's ass. Lot of mercy. Something, listen, but you know she's gonna be walking with her bodyguard, so she's telling us to go out there and do something that we don't have the equipment for." Lisa Roxanne sends $5 and says, "Self-love is unconditional. Bonnets, pajamas, etc." So are you saying that you can love yourself and be in your bonnets? Is that what you're saying? Erica sends 777 and says, "Community in shambles, but everyone is dressed nice." I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you, because we're going to be diving into that a little bit more, because the first time that I heard this topic, I was like, wait a minute, what are we getting dressed up for? We under attack. Is it any wonder we got on our battle bonnets? We under attack in this country. We're going to be in high heels. Come on. We're going to talk about that in a second. Shawnee sends $1 and says, "Call Derek Jackson's wife and tell this to her." Listen, she said it was a tam. She said it was a bonnet of salvation. Rochelle sends $1 and says, "Ghetto, because black women do it. White women wear messy buns. It's style." I don't know, my dear. I don't know. Antoinette sends $3 and says, "I've seen older women wear bonnets too." Interesting. So is this an older woman thing, a younger woman thing? I'm curious to know whether or not there's only certain types of people who wear the bonnets. All right, so listen. We're going to get into Monique's second video, because after she got attacked enough, she decided that she was not going to, that she wasn't really with the mess. So she decided that she was going to come back out and make a video, and that her video was going to address the people who were kind of coming down hard on her. So let's get that up on the screen for you all right now. All right. You ready?
Monster backlash after advising
my business over 25.
Okay, here, let's get to the beginning.
Business.
Here we go.
You are my business.
Oh, I think she was talking about people telling her to mind her business.
Some of them told me I'll cancel you. Some of y'all told me.
Let's go back a little bit more.
monster backlash after advising women not to wear bonnets in public.
Well, that's not nice. Some of them told me I'll cancel you. Some of y'all told me mind my god business. You are my god business. You are my business. And if more of us got involved with us, maybe our community would stand stronger. I'm going to give y'all a story, because you know I got one. Y'all know Aunt Nikki got a story. There was a woman that got in my business over 25 years ago. And I'm glad she got in my business, because it impacted my life and my career. And had that woman not got in my business, and had that woman not tapped me on my shoulders, I don't know how I would have responded that night to what I was dealing with, and how I would have responded moving forward. And that woman's name is Patti LaBelle. And let me tell y'all about it. And I'm going to write a book, because I got a lot of stories, right? So I'm going to tell y'all some of what happened that night. I was over there in my feelings over some, and I was getting ready to do a show with that woman, and she tapped me on my shoulder and said, "What's wrong with you?" Now at the time, she doesn't know me. I'm just on the show with her. I'm opening up the show. Please let me be clear. I was the comedian on the show, but Patti LaBelle did not know me. And that woman tapped me on my shoulder and said, "Come over here and let me talk to you." And when she found out what I was dealing with, she said, "Pull that shit together. Don't you ever let them see you sweat. You go out there and do what you gotta do." That woman has no idea how much that impacted my life and my career. And I'm so grateful she got in my business that night. So for you sweet babies, my babies, for you sweet babies that's saying all this shit about mind your business, you are my business. You are my business and my baby. And because some of us don't know what love really look like, you call it bashing, you call it getting in your business, you call it somebody ridiculing you. You can call it all you want to call it. I know what it is. It's called love. And I'm going to keep on loving us. And like George Wallace say, ain't a thing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about me loving you. And I'm going to keep on doing it. So if I do see you in the Walmart, and I do see you out in the street, and you are not giving you your best, let me be clear. You're not giving you your best. Monique gonna say, hey baby, let's talk. Cause she may be going through something. She may be dealing with something. All of that is real. But let's make it our business. If we do see a sister that might look like she's going through something, let's make it our business to say, hey sis, you need to have a conversation. Hey sis, wanna go get a cup of coffee? We've gotten so used to not getting in other people's business that look at what is happening now. And y'all know what I'm talking about when I say minding people's business. You know what I'm talking about. Don't mind nobody's business and you telling me about their red bottoms. I don't give a damn about no shoes. I don't give a damn about no pocketbook. I don't give a damn about a can't pay a mortgage. I don't give a damn about who's sleeping with who. Listen, I give a damn about our self-preservation. I give a damn about how we see ourselves. I give a damn about when I see my little sisters out there in the street and they walking around like they don't give a two shits about themselves. I give a damn about that. I give a damn about that. So for my baby sisters, for my little nieces, for the ones that said, we'll cancel your ass, I'll take the cancellation. But I won't stop loving you. I won't do it. I won't do it, just so we clear. And it took me a minute to make that post, y'all. It took me a minute because I knew that this would come. But that little voice said to me, listen, let it come. Just like when I did have to stand up against Netflix, when I did have to stand up against Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels and Lionsgate, do you know I knew what it was going to be? I knew what it was going to be. So therefore, I had to deal with that. But because I love us so much, I'm willing to deal with that if it's going to make it better for the next ones. And whomever is in this room, I don't know if you're being funny, smart, I don't know what it is, but it says Gayle King Live. I don't know what that is. And it says, will I apologize to Oprah Winfrey? I only apologize when I've done something wrong. I only apologize when I've done something wrong. If I've done nothing wrong, I will not apologize. So I hope that answers your question. Oprah Winfrey owes me an apology because she's done something wrong. So if you really want to have a conversation, whomever this person is, you know how to reach us. So stop playing like that. And that's another big part of our problem. When women throw other women away and don't stand and don't speak. I'm not that woman, so that we're clear. I'm not her. When I see it going wrong with my sisters, I'm obligated because the universe would deal with me and I would be punished for that. So I'm going to keep doing my part. I'm going to keep doing my part, my babies, because I love us for real. Oh, and please, when people got to saying, well, how dare you because our Muslim sisters, y'all know that's not what I'm talking about.
All right. You know what? Let's skip through this because this whole thing is 20 minutes long. I only listened to the first 5 minutes when I was reviewing this. So let's just skip through and see, just kind of get a sense for what else she has to say. Because I think that she's going to just be listening or responding to people in the comments.
My sister is, you may give it your all. And when I start putting on my little workout outfits, I did feel good about it.
Oh, this part right
I
here.
really didn't want to do this.
So she's going to talk about how she wanted to work out.
Put it on, and again, I'm not saying it in judgment. I remember when I first started working out, and I would put on anything, baby, because I really didn't want to do this. And my husband said to me, maybe if you start looking like you're interested in working out, you may work out a little better. You may give it your all. And when I start putting on my little workout outfits, I did feel good about it. And I did start giving it my all. So I was not speaking to you babies in judgment. I'm speaking to my babies in love.
All right. So let's get through.
They did. They ran their mouth and then they ran. Well, let me be clear. Oprah said absolutely nothing. She just said, I'll be quiet. Her basement. She taught us how to sit down with our legs closed. She taught us how
in
to
this
eat.
part, she's talking about how she went to one of the teachers from her school had, like, when she was a little girl, she had like a charm school in her basement on the weekends, and she taught them how to wear dresses and how to sit and how to, and how to carry themselves, and how that had a tremendous impact on her life. I guess outside of the comedy that she was doing where she was calling people fat and skinny bitches, right? Okay. All right.
With a fork. Now, I had parents, please be clear, but I just appreciated this woman saying, let me go to extra step. Let me show you how to put nail polish on. Let me show. It was just beautiful. Know what you're saying? I was guilty of that too. I know what it is to be a younger woman. I'm 53 years old. I know what it is to feel like can't nobody tell you shit. I know what it is to think you have all the answers. And they say the truth hurt. Baby, that was hurting me so bad, but when I stood up, when I was able to stand back up, I was grateful for those conversations.
Okay.
Tell me, I see her say all this stuff, but that sister don't walk in what she says. Nor does Tyler Perry.
Oh, now she's talking about Tyler Perry and Oprah again.
Babies, with no judgment.
All right. You know what? I think we kind of got a sense for what it is that she was talking about. So I'm sorry. It's just I'm finding this to be a little bit annoying. I'm finding it annoying. I mean, so there is merit in what it is that she's saying. Let me just be clear. There's merit in what it is that she's saying. However, the young lady who came out from the studio audience that talked about relationships, right? And these conversations being had with someone whom you have a relationship with. She talked about how Patti LaBelle took her aside and spoke to her before the show. She knew of Patti LaBelle. She knew the roster and resume of Patti LaBelle. She was opening the show for the headliner. And so this woman already had a certain esteem and place in Monique's life, right? Even if it was periphery, she still had a certain level of respect and reverence for Patti LaBelle. Now, there's a few different things that's going on, and I'm going to give my full opinion on this, right? One, Monique spent many, many years obese, maybe even morbidly obese, depending on what her fat ratio was, right? And when she was morbidly obese, she was in that person and she was operating from that mentality. Right. So now if you go to Monique's page, I'm going to show you her Instagram page, because if you go to her Instagram page now, I'm going to show you what you see. Right. On her Instagram page is a whole bunch of pictures of her working out, and she's doing this and doing that. But when she was morbidly obese, right, she was in that perspective in her life, in that morbid obesity. And she was morbidly obese because of something that was happening on the inside of her. So now she got all these videos of her working out, and she's changed her life into this. But when she was in that morbidly obese persona, if somebody tapped her on the shoulder and says, listen, honey, I mean, we all saw what happened when Jillian Michaels spoke about Lizzo and morbid obesity and not celebrating the body positivity that comes with being extremely overweight, and the world lashed back out at Jillian Michaels. I'm sure you remember that, right? When Monique was in this morbidly obese persona, she made her jokes about fat bitches and skinny bitches and this, and her whole shtick and routine was about that. As a matter of fact, when she started losing weight, there was a portion of her fan base that was like, what the hell are you doing, Monique? Your whole shtick was about being happy about being a fat bitch, right? Right? Her words, right? Then all of a sudden, something happened, something changed. If there's somebody out there who knows Why? Let me put up some of the chats, because I want somebody to comment. If there's somebody out there who knows why Monique decided to lose weight, please comment it below, because I was not a Monique fan. The first time that I heard her stuff, I was horrified by it. I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was very just, it wasn't my thing, right? No one could tap her on the shoulder. There was something that needed to happen inside of her. And I have a feeling that it had something to do with this husband that she's with, right? I feel that she's a little off mark here. And I'm going to tell you why I feel she's off mark. Because you can't just tell a person, look, because you know I'm a self-love specialist. I didn't give my intros in the beginning. I got to do better with that in a new setup. But as we acclimate, you know, everything will come together and gel. I am a self-love specialist. My name is Tanya TKO, and I help people learn how to love themselves and one another. And on this channel, we use viral video topics as teachable moments for what self-loving or self-abusing looks like in your life, right? And you can't just tell a person, oh, do this, right? You can't tell a person, oh, wear nice clothes and XYZ will happen. Or, oh, do this and this will happen, right? When you calibrate yourself to love on the inside, when you calibrate yourself to love yourself on the inside, things change on the outside. For those of you, how many of you here have my book, the Book of Affirmation Self-Love? You see it on the thing behind me back there. If you have the Book of Affirmation Self-Love, put up the number 1, right? When you start recalibrating yourself for self-love, things just start to change. You eat differently, you walk differently, you speak to yourself differently, you dress differently, you do different things. And part of the reason that there are a lot of people who feel that what she's saying is judgment is because it's just coming out of thin air. You don't just tell a person, hey, stop wearing bonnets. You got to get to the root of why they're wearing a bonnet in the first doggone place. Number 1, we just came out of the pandemic. We just came out of the pandemic. And there are a lot of people who are going through a lot of things out there, emotionally, psychologically. We don't know where a person is coming to or going from. I remember when my mother died, I got on an airplane. I don't remember much about it, but I just remember that she died and I had to go to the funeral. And I remember being on the plane and I remember crying. I don't remember what I had on. I don't remember what I looked like, because when my mother died, it was like phantasmagoric. I was just like walking through like this dream state, because to me, it did not feel real. I was a teenager. I was young. I was away at college. And then I got the message that my mother was dead. And I was like, this cannot be. I didn't think that it could be. And I remember I was on the plane and I was crying. The one thing I remember about that flight was that a flight attendant came and got me and put me in first class. I was not able to get a bereavement flight. I was not able to, none of that. I don't remember anything besides there was a flight attendant that came and got me and put me in first class. And I remember just sitting, and I couldn't even enjoy the first class. I remember it was my first time in first class, and I was weeping. I was broken. I don't know if they saw the brokenness in me. I don't know. But I remember I was sitting in first class, and I remember the plane landed, and I don't remember anything else about that trip, that day, none of that. And it's like we're telling people to do a certain thing, to pantomime. Oh, just wear nice clothes. Just do this. You'll look like a queen. You'll feel like a queen. We need to get to the root. If she's talking all of this and you want to be auntie and you want to be mama and all of this other stuff, right? Let's start getting to the root. We are under attack in this country. We're under attack. We ain't safe in this country, and we're worried about some dress clothes. We getting killed. We getting murdered. We're dying, and our neighborhoods ain't safe. I don't know where a person's mind is when they're flying. I was joking with one of the people from the studio audience. The studio audience, get ready. I'm going to pull you all back up in a moment. We don't know if a person is going to go sleep on the airport. We don't know if they have a tremendous amount of anxiety. We don't know if we don't know what's going on. And everybody is different. Monique said she didn't feel like working out, and her husband was like, oh, maybe if you looked better, or if you feel good about working out. That's Monique. When I work out, I if I'm alone, you may not even find me wearing anything at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody is different. Me personally, I don't find my esteem and my pride and my self-love from the accoutrements. I don't find that's not me, right? And we talked about the prison of pretty. We talked about that before. And so listen, I don't know everybody out there and what it is that's going to take for them to feel a certain way about a thing, right? For the people, and then this is my caveat, for the people, right, who need to hear Monique's message, for those people who that resonates with them, right? Two different types, right? There's some people that agree with Monique, and then she's just preaching to the choir. There's some people out there who are going to hear what she says, take it to heart, try it, and it's going to make a difference in their life. There are other people who are going to hear what it is that she says. They're going to try it. It's not going to work because that wasn't the underlying issue. That didn't help them. That wasn't a part of their makeup. So my thing is, look, if what she said resonates with you, hear her out. If it doesn't resonate with you, just push it out. If it doesn't apply to you, me personally, I mind my doggone business. I see people in their pajamas and their bonnets and all this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, it's just, I remember when I was in college and people used to walk around on campus, in their night clothes, and it made them feel comfortable, and it made them. So when I see it, it just reminds me of college students. Most of the people who I see doing it are very young people, but I have seen video footage of people going to pick up their kids from school. Remember, we saw that video footage of the girls who were fighting and all that other stuff on the school bus, and the ladies with the bonnets were filming the little girls getting jumped. Remember that? This is what I'm saying. The type of person who is wearing a bonnet and doing all this other stuff, you don't really know what they're going through or what their point of view is. Their point of view is one that feels that the bonnet and all that other stuff is appropriate. Oh, I don't know whether they're grieving, whether they're angry, whether they don't give an F. But me, I'm not going to enter into that personal space because, like the young lady from the studio audience said, we don't have a personal relationship. We don't know one another. We haven't established the respect between us. So maybe Monique needs to start doing lessons. And I don't know, because I'm not a Monique fan, so I don't know what she teaches or not on her platform. But maybe she needs to start doing lessons on what it took for her to get into the state of mind that made her decide to want to work out and change her life and do this, that, and the other. Because remember, she went to charm school, but she still ended up morbidly obese, cussing and being vulgar in her skits, right? This is in her sets, her comedy sets, right? So she needs to go back to the drawing board, and she needs to figure out her targeted audience and how she really wants to reach them, how she's going to quote unquote tap them on the shoulders, right? This is what that's what I want to know, right? How is it that she came to where it is that she is? Not only that, dressed up Black people in this country, I want to hear your points of view about this. Dressed up to go where? To do what? We're not equal in this country. We got a lot of things to worry about. And I'm going to give this little short anecdote. When I was in Nigeria, when I was in Lagos last year, and I was going out. I remember there was, listen, I remember there was one night in particular because I had on this cute dress. It was a cute black dress. It was a wonderful night. I have my playlist from my Nigeria trip on my page on YouTube, right? So you can see all of the videos from that excursion. So I remember I went to this party, and the party had like all of this VIP and all this other stuff. And I was in this message board group, and somebody had to come out and get me into the VIP and all of this other stuff, right? And I remember when I was walking back to go catch my ride share, the car service to get back to the hotel I was staying at, I was trying to step over this ditch, right? And this ditch, it had like all of this mud and like this funky water and stuff down on the ground. And I was like stretching my legs trying to get over, but I had on this cute dress. And I went to go put my foot up on the curb. It was like this high curb, maybe about 3 or 4 feet up. My foot slipped. I fell back. The girl I was with, I ended up pulling her down. I fell down, scraped up my legs on this dirty ass dirt. Because I was trying my best not to fall into that muddy, funky looking water, right? My dress ripped. Dress hasn't been the same since. That was the only time I got to wear it. My dress ripped. Then I was all dusty. The dirt that was there was now burning the scrapes on my leg. I was like, because I remember when I was in Guatemala, I was in this pond that had like a flesh-eating bacteria in it a few weeks before I was in there. And I was like, you really don't know what's going on out there. And I remember I was so angry. I was so angry that I fell. I was so angry that I was hurt. And I was so angry that there was all this funky water in the damn street, that there was all of this dirt, that there wasn't a sidewalk. I was so angry. And when I looked around, I remember seeing all of these people all dressed up, having a great time for Dirty December. And I thought to myself, these people are all dressed up and there's so many problems in this country. I'm like, I don't get it. I was like, I personally didn't get it. I was like, how do people get up and throw on all of these fancy clothes and continue to go out and pop bottles and do all this stuff? And there isn't 24 hours electricity here. And you don't have freedoms and all of this other stuff. And here we have Monique now. And Monique is talking about going and making sure that you're all dressed up and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, there's so many problems in this country, so many things that are amiss and awry, that we're worried about some damn bonnets. Yeah, I mean, it's like she's talking about you will be treated like a queen. And then the crazy part about it is I was listening to her as she spoke, and she's saying stuff like axe. If somebody asks you who's a queen. And so I'm like listening to her and I'm like, dear, you're not even saying ask. You're sitting up here in a robe yourself, talking about other people in a bonnet. And I'm like, as you sit there, Monique, I'm going to show this. We could do let's show a screenshot of her as she was sitting there. Let's show the screenshot. Let me scroll up. Right? Let's show the screenshot of her. Right? Let's get this on the screen. Here. So this is her coming out, right? She's sitting up here in a robe talking about acts. And she's making all of these insinuations. And as she's sitting there, I personally could be like, why don't you learn to enunciate? When you care about yourself, you enunciate better. Jillian Michaels could come to her and be like, well, you're still morbidly obese. You need to stop eating this. You need to stop eating that, right? And so it's like, where does it end? It's like she's spending so much time talking about what other people are doing according to her perspective. According to my perspective, you need to enunciate. This is what I'm saying. And then what about other people's perspectives? There's the perspective of the conservative out there. There's the perspective of the religious person out there. There's the perspective of the liberal out there. There's the perspective of this person, that person, all these different people. At what point do we say, you know what? This person has a different life, a different point of view. Why? And it's like, this is something, and no offense to my churchy people out there, but this is a point of view that I see pushed over and over in Christianity. Oh, you better go out there and stop people from doing this. You preach and proselytize and do this and do that to other people. Instead of allowing people the governance, like if somebody came to you for your help, that's a different story. If somebody came to you and said, well, you know what? I need help I need help. And they respected you and respected the type of help that they felt that you could give. And they specifically beseeched you for that help. That's a different story. But just to come out and be like, oh, you're not doing things the way I feel that you should be doing it. This is weird. This is where her message is missing. It's missing because she's not doing things how I feel that she should do them. But what does that matter? What does that matter? It's like we spend so much time up in our heads creating all of these scenarios and these benchmarks for other people according to what we hold true. When she herself is demonstrating that even at the bare minimum that she doesn't hold true what a person like me holds true. But what difference does that make on her life? Did she ask me whether or not or how I could help her not say acts? Did she ask me? She didn't. So I will allow her to be herself. When she was morbidly obese and she was making her comedy. I mean, do you all remember? I mean, I could show you the images because she has some pictures up of when she was morbidly obese. Let's see if I could get let's see if we could get this back up, right? So she has images up of when she was morbidly obese. Let's see if she has these old Monique images, because now she has all of these pictures up, but she posts some stuff from back in the days. I mean, look at how she was representing herself. Look, I'm going to turn the volume down and I'll just pantomime what it was saying. So basically, right? I'll just where's the thing to make this larger? Oh, let me just do it with my fingers. So basically, this is a commercial that she was in back in the days, right? And in this commercial, look, she was flirting with this guy, right? And she was like telling him to drink this and then take another look at her so that he could see her as beautiful, right? And so she was just making a mockery of herself, right? And then so let's find some of those images of her from when she was morbidly obese, right? I'm trying, but I guess, maybe I just need to search. Maybe I need to just search online for Monique the comedian. Here we go. And let's see if we can find some of those old images of her. Because when she decided, so let's see. You see, all she has is it's flooded with the new images, now that she's found this different point of view for herself. But when she was living in the old point of view, that was her life. This is what, you can't see it. Hold on, let me move this closer. I need to, let's see. Oh, where is it? Let me just search for Monique Fat. Let me just do that, F-A-T, because she was big for, look, let me see if I make this smaller, whether or not, oops, it's off the screen. I don't have the uncropped browser, so we can only see, let me see, maybe if I got, Here we go. Here we go. Right? So this was Monique. You see her, right? You see her. When she was in this old body here, when she looked like that. Oh, it's not on the screen. I'm sorry. You couldn't see it on the screen. I'm showing you now. Sorry, it wasn't up on the screen. So this was an old image of Monique, right? When she was morbidly obese, right? When she was in that body, what could you tell her? You couldn't tell her nothing. That was her shtick. That was how she decided to live her life, right? But people who were working out, who were they to come and tell her that that's not how she should live her life? That even though it's better for her and better for her health, right? But you see her, I mean, you could see the weight in her face. You see like this old image of her right there, right? Did you all see the commercial that I had up or the commercial that I put up? I don't know if you all saw that because I had not switched the screens. So this was the old Monique when she was obese. What could you tell her? And it's like we spend so much time talking about and thinking about what other people are doing according to our standards. And you know what? I feel like I'm preaching right now. I'm going to come back to the studio audience. So studio audience, listen, you all get ready because I'm going to bring you all up. We're going to read some of the apples first. We're going to get the apples up on the screen and take a look at the contributions that have come in since we last looked at the apples. Oh, wow. Goodness rated Bo sends $103 and says daily dose payment. Ah, thank you so much. Thank you for the apples. Wow, I appreciate that. Thank you. The contributions to the Cash App supports the show. The contributions monthly to the text notification squad supports the show. So thank you all so much. It helps the show go and upgrade and get better and keep getting better. So Tanya sends 333 and says, in the 70s, women used to wear scarves outside. Interesting. And then that's the thing because, today is bonnets, but if bonnets became like we're the tastemakers, bonnets would take off and people would be like, oh, then you got the colorful bonnet, then you have this, that, and the other. And when other people start wearing it, then we'll be like, oh, that's cool. Jamila sends $1 and says, Black women get policed about everything. Mind your biz. I hear you. Jelania sends $2 and says they need to stop policing Black women. Okay, so there's a lot of you who feel this way. Right? And so my whole thing is, don't get me wrong. I believe that Monique is doing the very best that she can. I believe that she means well. I really do. But I feel like there's so many things that need to be done. Angelica sends $1 and says, Monique coming from a place of love. And I feel that she's coming from a place of love. I really honestly do. I feel that there's a lot of missing steps. I feel like she's expecting everybody to be in the same space that she is with the same rearing, background, experiences, teachings, life moments, etc. And expecting women to have her point of view and then saying that they are a thing if they are not of her thinking, right? Latoya says if Kardashians wore them, it wouldn't be an issue. Listen. We are kind of harsh on ourselves. Molly sends $5 just because. Thank you so much, Molly. Thank you all. Thank you all. All right. So let's bring the studio audience back over. Let's get them up and ready. So, here we go. Make sure that you have your what am I trying to say? Just make sure that you're ready. Make sure that you have your hands raised if you'd like to speak and come over. All right. So welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. So, hi, everybody. Hi, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so we have Amber who looks like she has something to say. Part of the reason that I didn't want to give my point of view early is because I want people to be able to, Amber, come up. Listen, if you're coming up to the screen, it's because you're not muted.
Hello.
Hi. You know what, as a matter of fact, let me get everybody on mute. And then that way, let me get everyone on mute, and then I'll let people, then I'll unmute, but I'll come right back to you. Okay? All right, wonderful. All right, come on now. Let's hear your point of view. Hi, welcome.
Well, I got my bonnet on. I'm in the bed. But going back to what you said earlier.
Can you turn your phone sideways, please? You knew that before you came up, right? Auto rotate. Let's come right back to you. Cheryl, okay. Come forward. Cheryl.
Hello, Tanya. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I see it from your perspective a little more, but I'm 60 years old this coming August, and I understand what you were saying in regards to you don't know what people are going through. I got that. And you are absolutely right with that. But I also still think that we should carry ourselves a little better than we do. I grew up back in, like I said, the 60s, 70s, 80s, and all that. I grew up where our Black women that back in the day wore bonnets were the ones that worked in the slave master's house, and they had to keep their head covered while they was in there because they didn't want any germs from us Blacks in their food while they were fixing it. So that was the reason why the elderly didn't want us wearing those bonnets whenever we went anywhere. But now the times have changed. They try to make it a fashion statement. So I can see that at this timeline. But like I said before, I'm not going up to no one and touch them on the shoulder and tell them, that's not appropriate, because that's just a fashion statement and it'll go out like everything else, I feel.
Interesting. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for that point of view. I really wasn't trying to sway anyone with my point of view. So that's why I kind of kept my opinion to myself until, I kind of just kept my opinion to myself. So next up, we have Madam Butterfly while Amber's still working on her camera. Come forward, Madam Butterfly.
Yes. Hey.
Hi.
So I would like to say I actually have some personal Monique experience. I actually used to be a model for her back when she had her Monique BBLI line, which was like her church wear and like church hats. Anyways, long story short, that was actually, even when she was in her prime trying to get that going, it was her claim to fame. She used to always tell us about representation, bonnets, scarves, and chattering, talking, being the loud one that everyone looks at. She gave us the pep talk out of this world. Now, do I agree with her? No. Only because everyone's got their own personal, choices. But yes, I have to say she was hardcore about the bonnets and the scarves and anything that was ghetto or appropriation to ghetto. So even when she was the ghetto voice of the mammy Black, comedian, she was still getting us backstage in line. So Auntie will tap you on the shoulder and let you know up close, in personal, and she's about that life, even back then.
Okay. And so my point with her was, when she was morbidly obese, could someone tap her on the shoulder and tell her that that wasn't self-love, that she wasn't a queen?
No. And knowing what I know from her and what I got from her, she was the boss queen of the Nile. And I used to really wonder where she got that, what I call entitlement from, because she was definitely one you could not tell a thing. Not even about her eating or nothing. Not even something that was going wrong. It was still her say or no way.
So then what is it that makes her feel that she can tap someone on the shoulder who is living their life as they see fit and think that her point of view is going to superimpose over their point of view?
I feel like she is a voice. She takes that literally and figuratively. Whether you know where she stood on it or stands now, she's going to speak her mind. It's always been her personality for me and what I've gotten from her personally. So I just feel like it's always been whatever she says. It doesn't matter if it's good for the goose, but it's good for the gander.
What do you mean not good for the goose? What do you mean?
Meaning the goose doesn't have to do what she's telling the gander to do. She's always been like that. So she
wasn't practicing what she was preaching, is what you're saying?
Well, put it like this. I've seen her curse a couple of models out. And so in my perspective, it wasn't the most classy thing to do, but I guess she felt that it was necessary at the time. So that's why I say the goose versus the gander.
All right, I got you. All right. Well, Amber is back. Come on, Amber, and talk to us.
Well, this is my whole thing. Like you stated before, you don't know what a person is going through.
Mm-hmm.
When I went through my divorce, I wasn't thinking about, trying to look cute or whatever. I was depressed. So when I went out, yes, I had a bonnet on because, I really didn't want to get out the house. And you never know what a person is going through unless you ask. And like someone else stated, their relationship, the way these young kids now, you come tapping them, telling them, it's not ladylike to wear your bonnets or whatever. It's just going to be a big old girl fight. That's all I got to say about that.
Right. I wanted to ask you, I wanted to follow up with what it is that you were saying. What about raising the aesthetic of Black women? And then my question for you is, when you were depressed and going through your divorce, would it have helped you if a stranger came up to you and said, hey, you look like you're going through something. Do you need to talk?
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
So then Monique has a point then.
Yes, it would have. But then according to how they come to you in love, yeah. It would have helped because, I went through it by myself, so.
Okay, so then we have two perspectives here. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for giving your perspective, Amber. Next up, we have Erin. And so, Erin, while we wait for you to come up, let me just say this, because I saw someone in the comments who said, why do I keep bringing up Monique's weight, right? I'm bringing up Monique's weight because there is obviously, this is a huge front word. Now, there's a lot of different things that people are going through and different perspectives that they had. But Monique was very happy with her weight. And when she was in that body, she was very happy with it. And there wasn't anything that anybody could really tap her on the shoulder to bring up. And my point is that her weight was controversial to other people. Her weight was a sign of, or to them, a sign of a lack of self-love or not being queenly. So everything that she's saying in that bonnet video applies to herself when she was in her morbidly obese body. And my point in bringing it up is that she personally, she had a different perspective. Just like even now, there are people who have a different perspective. People have a different perspective about morbid obesity. People have a different perspective about bonnets. Whose perspective supersedes the other? That's my point in bringing it up. All right. So, Erin, come forward, my dear, and let's hear you. Hey, you know what? First, before I bring you on, let me get everybody back on mute because I see other people who are coming up into the screen by mistake. So we have Erin. Come on, Erin, let's talk. So what is your point of view on all of this? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just sent you the request.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I agree with what Monique was saying, but not everybody can do that. So, like, you can say it publicly to everybody to say, you know, you should dress respectfully in public. But as far as tapping a total stranger, that's a no. So if I see somebody that I know and I'm close to, and I know like they're not going through a breakdown or something like that, and I can talk to them in love and say, you know, maybe you want to, you know, put a hat on instead of, like, if I have to put a bonnet on in public, I have crochet hats I put on over the bonnet. So I'm not just like walking around in a bonnet, but that's just me. And I would never tap a stranger and tell them, you don't look presentable, you need to go somewhere, put some clothes on, put a wig on, or put a hat
Maybe
on.
not in that tone though. I'm sorry, I have to say this. You are such a cutie pie.
Oh, thank you.
You're such a cutie with your head wrap on.
Yeah, it's like a bonnet with a scarf, so it looks like a head wrap. But yeah, this is the only kind of bonnet I will wear in public. But that's just me, and I wouldn't say anything to somebody else that chooses to wear a regular bonnet.
Why not?
Because I don't know them, and I don't want to get into a fight. Some people you don't know, they're argumentative, and if that's how they wanted to walk out in public, then that's how they wanted to walk out in public. I don't know why they wanted to, and it's not really my business unless it's somebody that I know.
So you would tap someone that you know on the shoulder. But what about the young lady who just came up who said, you know what, if somebody would have come up to me and said, look, do you need to talk, that would have really helped. So what are your thoughts on that?
But you don't know how everybody will respond. So she might have responded positively, but other people might, you know, try to throw hands. And I'm not a fighter. So I don't want to get involved in a fist fight for something that I should have just kept my nose out of. But
what about helping your sister? Because there are people who are saying Monique is saying this from a place of love, and she's saying it because she wants to help Black women. So what about helping your sister out and really being, because she's coming from an auntie position where she's like, you know what, I care about you and I want you to represent. What about that?
But see, that's different because she's famous. And she can do it in a public manner, which is what she did. And that's just different than walking up to somebody and saying, hey, I don't, you know, maybe you should have some self-love. Like, that's just different. I can get on Facebook and do a Facebook Live and say, hey, everybody, from a place of love, please don't go out and wear a bonnet. But walking up to Shaniqua in line at Walmart, I just can't do that. That's not my personality. I can't do that.
I see. Have you ever been having a hard time in public and wish that someone would have come up to you and just spoken to you and maybe helped you out?
It depends. Like I said, it depends. If she looks sad and she's crying or something like that, that's different. But somebody who's walking around confidently with pajamas and a bonnet on, she's happy with the way she looks. She's happy. She looks content. I'm not going to mess with her. I'm not going to talk to her. She's fine.
Okay, I got you. All right. So sad approach. Happy, yes. Confident with the bonnet and the pajamas. Leave them alone because they're good.
Especially if they're loud. Yes, I'm not messing with her.
Now you added other stuff into the scenario.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
I'm not messing with her.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Next up, we have... Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I need everybody to make sure that they are that they are acclimated the right way so that they could be able to come up. So next up we have the classic Yaya. Come forward, classic Yaya.
Hi, Tanya.
Hi, welcome.
I wrote some notes because I didn't want to lose my train of thought while
Oh,
hearing
well, you know what? That's good. So let's hear.
I guess my opinion first on the video is, I guess I just respect Monique for her opinion because she's allowed to have one. But it's like, it really is layered. And just coming from my own experience, like growing up, my mom was really going through a lot with my dad and stuff, and like drugs and everything. So like we always had secondhand stuff. She never taught me self-care. She like that's stuff that I had to learn like in school with my friends, stuff I learned from like movies. Like I had to learn that kind of stuff for myself growing up. So I understand like the mental health issue that we have in our community because I basically deal with it every day.
Okay. So then what is your feedback on the whole Monique Bonnet asking women to represent better? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that this is another pin we can put on our list for reparations to repair the dehumanizing understanding of the colonization of human beings. Like
how do we get the colonization from bonnets now? I want to hear how you made that jump.
It's not, but it's like you said, it's layered.
Wasn't no bonnets on the ship?
Just the bonnets to me. I'm just saying bonnets can be a point on what our mental health is now because of what our ancestors have gone through. Like we are dealing with the aftermath of what our parents went through from just the onslaught of the dehumanizing of Blackness and the self-hate that our family grew up with. Like my mom felt it and I felt it growing up. I'm just starting to deal with it now. I'm 30 years old. I don't have any kids or anything, but just watching everyone struggle so hard made me so closed off to life and everything. So I do understand where she's coming from, but for me, it's just a bullet point on a bigger picture. It's not a one focused thing for me.
Got you. Did you get to say all of your notes?
Yes, and the coming up to people and all that, like we don't have that kind of trusting community. Like everybody said, like that's not my business. But if I have stopped and I have I'm from upstate New York, Syracuse, so like in your face type. But I've had seen someone, I could see that they just needed someone. Like you could see the pain, or like you could just see that they were working through something, and I just sat and I listened. No talking, just listened and a hug, and just she went that way, I went this way type, or like just random conversation with people you waiting in line with. Sometimes
got you. But never once have you come up to them and say, well, listen, sis, those shoes or that bonnet or that, no.
I mean, a compliment like, girl, that dress, yes, I'm feeling that. Like, that's a whole vibe. Like, something like that, yes. But I've never wanted to correct someone on what they look like. Like, no. Like, would you go and correct a homeless person? Like, that's what you asking me to do.
Wait, hold on. So now the people at the airport are akin to a person living on this. Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like,
I got you.
I'm just saying, like, you telling me to do something to a person, like you would find that utterly disrespectful if I did that to a homeless person. Why would you do that to a regular person? Like,
I think, I don't know how those two issues can be conflated, but thank you for your
I'm
point of
sorry.
view.
I might have said it wrong.
No. I'm just saying. All right. Next up, we have Shanae, who is back again. Thank you, Shanae. Come forward.
All right. Okay, you can hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you. I get to talk to you again. But one, bonnets, I don't wear bonnets. I don't like wearing them because I feel claustrophobic when I'm asleep. I don't like anything on my head. But I have to say, I never. Yes, when I'm asleep, when there's something on my head, I don't know. I feel some type of way. I like it to be.
So you just sleep with your hair out?
Yeah, since my hair underneath, I have an afro. I usually put it in those big stretchy headbands.
Right, but
and
do you have like a satin pillow or something?
Yes, because I heard from all the hair gurus on YouTube about if you don't wear the bonnet, at least have the satin.
Okay, because I was like, wait a minute, you wilding out here. Okay, all right, go ahead.
To be quite honest, if you remember, I live in Philadelphia, and I see women with head bonnets every day, even in my apartment complex. To be quite honest, I never gave it a second thought, really, on is she feeling well? Is she okay? Because they're they're going to the poppy store, they're handling their kids. I don't think twice about her being inappropriate or not.
Got you.
So this whole topic was like, why are we even talking about bonnets? And I'm assuming when I see a woman and I look out the window and she has a bonnet, she's coming from the store, I'm like, it's a little, I don't know, so much for me to assume that something is automatically wrong with her because she walked to the store with her bonnet, or I saw a woman with her kids with a bonnet at the grocery store. That's what my first thought when I heard this whole controversy. So I am on the mark on you should mind your business. I don't know her story, so I can't assume that if I tap her, you okay, girl? You okay, baby? She looked at me like, what? You don't know me. And the girls out here, I seen them rumble men. Okay. The girls out here.
That's how they're doing it in Philly?
Yes.
What they call it, Philadelphia?
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Oh my Lord, they didn't add a K in front?
Yes, Philadelphia is called down here.
Oh my gracious. Back in the day, it was called Philadelphia. But now they done added the K. Lord of mercy. Okay, well, if that's the case, don't get yourself hurt out there talking to somebody about their bonnet then.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, if I tapped one of these ladies that rumble men out here, like I literally saw a couple last month and I thought they were playing, but they were actually fighting in the courtyard. I'm not really messing with these Philly ladies about their bonnets. They were rumbling and they had to be in their 40s. I don't know, because they got up and they were like, and they walked back in like it was normal. I was like, this is weird.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's like they fight like that every day. How they got up as if it was like it was weird. But I would say,
well, you know what? Stand back and stand by on that one, child.
Yeah, I'm not messing with these Philly. I'm not messing with these Philly
Next
girls.
up, we have Temeska.
Hi.
Hey, Tam.
Hi. I just wanted to say that you have to be careful when you asking or tapping somebody on the shoulder about their bonnets and stuff, because you don't really know the situation, as you said, with people. What if that person have hair loss or something like that? You know.
So wait, hold on. Hair loss? Well, what about a wig? There's options. Why is a bonnet the choice? If somebody got hair loss, what about, where's the wig? You can put a wig on, no?
Well, they might not have a wig at the time. I'm telling you, anything could be going on. We don't know what's going on with the person's situation. It's dangerous sometimes because people take offense to stuff. That's all I got to say.
You are so funny. All right. So the person can have some hair loss while you talking to them about their bonnet. Then now all of a sudden you fighting someone whose hair you can't grab. I see. I feel you. Well, listen, on that note, let's read some of the apples that have come in. The link for the apples is in the description below. So if you want to send your apple to be read on air, and we're going to be getting out of here in just a moment. I want to make sure that we get these apples in. So if there's anyone from the studio audience who has one last thing that they want to say, make sure that you raise your hand. So here, Lisa sends $2 and says for support. Thank you, Lisa. We appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And Jamila sends $3 and says public shaming isn't cool. There's a better way. So Jamila, what is the way? What is the way? What's the better way to handle something like that? Zara sends $5 and says she should also address how her degenerate role in Precious affected the image of Black women as well. Well, that's fiction though. That is fiction. So do you think that her role in Precious had effect? I mean, but her role was a snippet from real life, no? I want to hear some of your points of view on that. That is very interesting. That's very interesting. All right. It looks like there's 2 more hands we have up. People behind scene. Can you help people be able to orient their camera so that they are broadcast ready? So I'm going to see some of your comments coming up over here, and then we're going to jump to the studio audience. So we're going to have, listen, I want to hear what you all have to say. So I'm letting some of your comments go through. It's difficult to read the small text because my screen is much smaller than the ones that you're seeing. And so if you have a comment that you feel you have to have on the air, make sure that you send it through a Cash Apple. As a matter of fact, let's take a quick commercial break right now, and we'll come right back after the commercial. Are you tired of missing Tanya TKO's live videos? Arriving late when the video is well underway or about to end? Are you fatigued of only seeing a live video randomly while perusing YouTube and Facebook? Or worse, randomly unsubscribed? Well, now you can get a text notification whenever I go live. No longer are we dependent on the algorithm of these fickle platforms. For just $1.99 a month US and Canada, or $4.99 a month international, you get a personalized text message 15 minutes before each live show. Now, you can show up early with the Text Squad, meet other people from all over the world, and get invited to secret broadcasts off-platform. Most importantly, support your favorite independent creator. Go to TanyaTKO.com and click on text. Join the TKO Text Squad today. For just $1.99 a month US and Canada, or $22 a year if you pay in advance, $4.99 a month international, $50 a year if you pay in advance, you'll never again be tardy to the party. I'll see you on the next broadcast. TanyaTKO.com/text. All right. Well, welcome in, everybody. We have the studio audience back. And so we are going to pull some people forward who are going to talk. Next up, we have Tanya. So Tanya, come forward. All right, so let's get Madam Butterfly up on the screen. Madam Butterfly has come back. Come forward and say what you need to say.
I just wanted to throw in that I was at the Boysenberry Festival at the Knott's Berry Farm with all of the others, and I'm just going to say the others. You know, they weren't all Black women, but everybody was fighting to get this bonnet, this boysenberry bonnet that I have on. It's a boysenberry bonnet, like a pie. So,
oh, wait, your bonnet is a pie?
It's a boysenberry pie.
You know something? I cannot. So they were fighting for this pie bonnet?
Yes, with the bonnet attached. Oh, yes. They were fighting, like about to fight, slobber knocker fight. So what I'm saying is, The bonnets are a thing. It's not just in our community, ladies. It's others. It's the others. Because I had to fight to
and
get
that's
this one.
one thing that I honestly really do think. It's like we criticize our community so harshly, but when it comes to other people, it's like we're the tastemakers, but it's not until other people start mimicking it that we then are like, oh, yeah, now it's hot. Now it's hot. All right. Well, listen, next up we have Tanya. Thank you so much for showing us your pie. Now you got me thinking about sweets.
Yep, crochet boysenberry pie bonnet. You got to get you one.
You are so funny. All right, Tanya, come forward.
I was trying to unmute myself, but it said host won't. The host has to unmute me.
It's cool. Let's just keep going forward.
So basically, I was going to say, if you're from Philadelphia, where I'm from, don't be tapping nobody on the shoulder about their bonnets.
That's what you came up here to co-sign, that Philadelphia is very dangerous.
Yeah, you can't be doing that, because you might have to rumble.
Listen, okay, thank you all so much. Can you all help Jennifer with her camera, please? I was trying to type in the chat, but apparently no one was helping her. So let's so she got it together now. All right, come on, Jennifer, come forward.
Well, can you see me?
We can see you.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to say, I mean, I don't know, for me it's not that serious, but I have a mixture of like traditional aspects of myself along with kind of, Norla vibe going on. So when elders are speaking, like, it don't bother me. I listen to what they say. I take what they got to give and I keep it moving. I never forget, years ago, I used to walk with my head down all the time. And I was walking down the sidewalk in Miami, and this guy, he looked like he was on drugs or possibly an alcoholic or something, but he got pissed off with me and he was like, pick your head up when you walking. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't know who this guy was. All I said was, yes, sir. Picked my head up and kept it moving. To this day, anytime I walk with my head down, I remember that man. And that was almost 20 years ago. So, I mean, take what they got to give and keep it moving.
He was probably upset, didn't want you finding any drugs that was on the floor.
Don't be doing that. He was aggravated. He was aggravated. He was talking about black kids walking around with their heads down and not looking up and, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it could have been that too.
Keep your head up. Don't look down here on the sidewalk. All
it's
right.
So funny though, because even now, like anytime I walk around, if I got my head like down, I hear that man's voice. And that was the only time I saw that man in life. So
you think he came from the spirit world just to give you that message?
Listen, I ain't said all that, Tanya. I'm just saying, like, because some of them have struggles that we didn't necessarily have. We still have discrimination and everything, but it's still some things that they've experienced that we haven't. And I think that's where some of the whole bonnet stuff comes from. There was a time and place where Black people couldn't be caught outside wearing anything because...
Lift your camera, dear.
I'm trying. I don't know what... See.
You can't lift your camera?
I mean, what is it? Can you see me?
We can, but we don't want it down here under your chin.
Well,
all right, this is good. Look how beautiful. You want people to see this beautiful face? Listen. So the homeless man or the drug addict yelled at you to keep your head up, and that stayed with you all these years.
All I'm saying is ultimately we have to listen to our elders, take the message and keep it moving. But we live in a day and time where the village is like trash. You can't just go up and approach people. So I think that's another issue. Like the community is just trash. And I wish we still had some aspects of that, but you have so many different factors that go along with that. Like safety and, a lot of people out here crazy. So, but me personally, I don't feel no type of way about Monique saying that. She said it and I take it in love and I keep it moving.
Okay. Well,
that is all.
Thank you so much for your point of view. Very interesting. All right. Bye. Well, I'm curious about what you all have to say out there in terms of the whole Monique thing, the helmets of salvation, the bonnet boondoggle, all of that. Her coming back out and what she had to say, saying she's not going to mind her business because Patti LaBelle did not mind her business. And I'm thinking, you know what, that I already spoke my piece on all of this. So I want to hear from you. If you're seeing this video after we're live, make sure that you leave your comments below. I am your host, Tanya TKO, and I'm a self-love specialist from TanyaTKO.com. I hope you learn how to love yourselves and one another. If you want to be a part of the studio audience, just know that this feature is going to be available within the next week or so for you all to be able to subscribe to that feature so you can end up in a broadcast weighing in. The views that are expressed during this broadcast are the views of each person expressing it. And on that note, we're going to jump out of here. I'm going to give the closing, then we're going to jump over to the studio audience, and we're going to get some self-love messages from them. What is the self-love message here for you all? What is it that you all gathered from what it is that we talked about? What is it that you gathered? I want to know how you all felt about Monique and what Monique said, how you felt about her delivery, how you felt about the way people have been responding, how you personally feel about somebody coming up to you and telling you that what you're wearing or how your body looks or how your hair is done or all of that, your representation is not to their liking. I want to hear how you all feel about that. So let's bring the studio audience back on. Let's get a great big round of applause for everyone and welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome. So the self-love lesson for me in all of this is, what is the self-love lesson? What's the self-love lesson here? So I'm going to allow you all to unmute as you see fit. So hold on, let me get the situation back together. Let me get the situation back together over here. All right. Okay. So you all can unmute as you see fit. So let's get you all back and then let's see. All right. So what's the self-love lesson here, Yaya?
Self-love is self-care, and you don't have to take care of everybody else.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Madam Butterfly, what's the self-love lesson here?
Make sure you take care of what you need to take care of so that you can be helpful to others in your suggestions and all your self-love assistance for others. You need to start with yourself, basically.
Okay, all right. And so, Tanya, what's the self-love lesson here?
The self-love lesson for me is, just take pride in yourself. And if you can tap someone on the shoulder that maybe receive what you're saying, if you can say something to them, then do that as well. But you just have to be careful who you tap on the shoulder.
But what is the self-love lesson? Like, what is the takeaway from all of this about what self-love is?
I mean, just having pride in yourself and how you present when you walk out your door.
Is wearing a bonnet a lack of pride? That's the question.
You know what, no, I don't really actually think it is a lack of pride, because some people will match their bonnet with what they're wearing. I don't see anything wrong with it. That's not my style. And I wouldn't look at someone and say, oh, they don't have style or they don't have pride in themselves. No, not at all.
Interesting. Okay, Deidre, self-love lesson here. Deidre, hold on. What's going on? All right, you have to unmute yourself.
Sorry, y'all, I'm not tech savvy. Okay, the self-love lesson here for me is that to not be so judgmental,
and to try to understand where people are coming from, because there are people going through different things in life. Like I see where Monique is coming from, but I also see the perspective of, listen, people are going through things. I'm kind of nervous. I love you, Tanya.
Don't be nervous. We love you too. Give a round of applause for her. Send some love to the young lady. Yes, absolutely. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's all love here. Thank you for coming up. All right, Erin, self-love lesson.
Self-love lesson. Do the best you can with where you are. That's all I got.
Okay.
Don't roll out the bed in your pajamas and your flip-flops unless you absolutely have to, but then love yourself in looking like that.
Hey! All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Who else do we have in here? Self-love lessons. Ladies, unmute yourself and come forward. LaShandra, self-love lesson. Unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hi. What's the self-love lesson here?
Well, number one, love yourself. Seriously, tell yourself that in the mirror every day.
Okay.
You could actually have a bonnet on and have a $300 hairdo up under that bonnet. I think people are just taking it a little extreme, but
wait, the bonnet, I think the $300 hairstyle under the bonnet is the extreme.
But I have a good friend. She wore her bonnet outside with no problem. It was to protect her hair. Me personally, I don't want to put that bonnet on my pillow, that's been outside, but love yourself, bonnet or not.
Okay, got you. All right, let's see who else we have here. Let's see, self-love lesson, Yaya.
I have my hand up?
No, but I'm calling on you anyway. What's the self-love lesson from all of this?
From all of this is, as long as I am focusing on myself and learning who I am, I won't be worried about other people and what they need to be doing.
All right, I hear that. Thank you. All right, let's see who else we have in here. All right. Arkwright, come forward. We see you got your food in front of you. Is that part of the self-love? What's the self-love lesson, Arkwright? I'm trying to...
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the same. Just love yourself.
We can't see your face. All we see is this lovely looking fried bread.
I had to eat. I already cooked
that's right.
food for the kids, so I was hungry.
So what's the self-love lesson in this whole boondoggle?
I mean, I would still, still say love yourself, but at the same time, things are gonna come from social media all day, every day. You know what I mean? So take what you take and kind of like move forward, take the positive out of it. A lot of people don't think that, bonnets are a problem or a situation, and then some people do. They all.
So, but what's the self-love lesson in all of this, and Monique, and the response, and all of it?
I mean, I would just still say, just still do what you do. Like, if you feel confident about how you're doing it, and you're not, making some type of I don't know, something negative out of it. Like I just feel like with social media, they still try to make things negative, right? So if you don't think that it's negative, then keep moving. Like that's what you do it, like, and do it well. And a lot of the women on here has done it well. I love it. So
got you. Thank you so much.
I just say just do it.
All right, Allie, self-love lesson here.
Well, I will say this is giving me a way different perspective than what I usually would think. Personally, for myself and my teenage daughters, that's a no-no. But I see now where, how would you say this? Some people, I know when Monique was talking about, the whole Patti LaBelle situation, it reminded me of, Asians will say, quote unquote, saving face, never let them see you cry. But see, the problem is now I realize there's some people out there that they get tired of wearing the battle suit of trying to always look presentable and everything else. Because again, you don't know what they're going through. And the idea of just tapping somebody on the shoulder, I just wouldn't do it, because even people where I reside, that's all they do. I've even seen 9, 10-year-old preteen girls wear it. And that would not be a good idea, because you don't want trouble with their parents.
Oh, yeah.
But
I didn't even think of that. Tapping a young person on the shoulder. Yeah. And they have parents. Yeah, very interesting, because the type of parents that'll let their child go out in pajamas and a bonnet, is that the parent you want to contend with by talking to their child? That's very interesting. Interesting. Okay.
No, you don't. And I've seen that where I reside. I've seen that a lot.
Okay. All right. Nettie, self-love lesson here.
For me, self-love lesson is respect yourself, carry yourself the way you want to be perceived by the public. And if someone wishes to look whichever way they look, respect that person's wishes.
It sounds like you're changing your point of view from earlier.
No, I still believe that we should all be presentable. We should all, go out and represent who we are as a person, represent our family, our organizations. But as I stated, that I'm not going to go and say, young lady, you look a hot mess. You need to be ashamed of yourself. Go home and fix yourself up.
I got you.
I'm not going to do that.
I feel you. I don't think anybody would want to do both. Yeah, I think it is a slippery slope. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. All right. So this has been an amazing broadcast. I appreciate all of you for coming out. Let me throw some of your comments back up on here. And hey, I appreciate you all for coming out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, what? Love yourself. And part of loving yourself is, for me, as the self-love specialist, what would I say the self-love lesson is in all of this? I think from Monique, from big sister to auntie, I would say that I could show you better than I can tell you. And I think that if you're going to have an issue with what people are doing, have a solution. Create a charm school, Monique. That way the people who are interested in that can come and be a part of that. That's my take. That's all I can say on that. But what is the self-love lesson? I feel like I'm missing the self-love lesson here, because part of loving yourself is accepting people for where it is that they are, helping people when they ask for your help, not imposing things on people that they don't want, but still leaving yourself available to use discernment in different situations. So I hope you like that. That is that right there. So thank you all so much for coming out. We have one more Cash Apple left. So let me read that for you all. Johnny sends $2 and says, my beanie has satin. My hoodie is satin inside. Very interesting. The beanie and the hoodie. All right. I know that's right. Keep the coils coily. I know that's right. All right. So everybody, thank you so much for coming out. We appreciate you coming out. And so actually let's get the studio audience to wave goodbye. I'm going to let everybody come off of mute in the studio audience so that we can get one last wave. And let me pull this forward. Here we go. Hey, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming out.
Thank you, Tanya.
Yes, thank you all so much for being a part of this broadcast. I appreciate each and every one of you more than you can imagine. Thank you for being a part of the text notification squad. Thank you for all of the testing that you have helped me do over the past few weeks. And thank you for growing with my channel as we grow. So thank you all so much. Thank you. And on that note, I will see you all in the next video. Tanya TKO, and I am out. Peace.
Yay!